behind the scenes. Bring your earpiece today. Is that be careful? Yes, so I believe at this point we are live. Yes, thank you so much, Mohammed. And thank you to my beautiful, beautiful audience. Thank you very, very much for, of course, giving us the zeal every day to want to come over here and face you guys. We cannot thank you enough. Of course, you know it's Generation Next, and I'm sure you know the drill, but I can still take you through as to what our motive is. Generation Next, of course, we are a youth movement platform geared towards inspiring, motivating, and directing young people's participation towards responsibilities in a developing society. Of course, we are working to raise awareness, so awareness, if you like, on issues and challenges that the youth are faced with to effect a positive change. And we do this by bringing in the very young person that we want to inspire, the very young person that we want to motivate, but also direct to come over here and share their stories in order to push anybody who may be in a bubble, thinking that life has shunned them or thinking that they have no worth in this beautiful, beautiful earth. So there you go. I'm here again. Of course, you know I'm your presenter. I am Sarah Chot. For those of you who knows me as Sissy, I am Chot Sissy on, of course, on my, if you go on my social media handle, is Chot Sissy. And Generation Next, we are here, and a big thank you to the whole family, and thank you to Mohammed for always being here to make sure that we are live. So today I have a beautiful young person, someone that I guess it's worth emulating, a young Gambian who believes that we have a country to build. And I'm happy to actually be having him here on Generation Next. I'm sure if you stay with us throughout, you'll get to hear his story, and I'm sure you will be inspired by that. So I will go with a quick narration of who he is before I welcome him on the platform. So I've got Mutar, Mr. Mutar Sawaneh. Of course, he is an electrical and electronics engineering technician by profession, with couple of years of work experience. He worked at various industries where he contributed immensely to the welfare and human resources development in numerous projects in various industries, which culminated significantly to the acquiring of major skills through meticulous supervision. This helped him in dealing with customers directly in terms of preparing contracts documents and ensure that machines at customers' end are fixed to good installation outlets. Mukhtar worked at Global Properties Facility International, which is GPFI, as a facilities coordinator. Also, Afisel Gambia Limited as a senior power technician, and as an electrical electronics technical at MRC Laboratories. He holds advanced diploma in electrical and electronics engineering in City and Guilds London Institute. He is the founder of MS Electrical Electronic Solutions that run a private with a team of young Gambians. I'm sure that is enough to motivate you. Mukhtar, although you said you are not what is it? What did I associate it with you with Sarakule? Because I know of past disease with Sarakule background, but you said you are Fuller. Is that what you said?
Sure. So
it's a pleasure to actually have you here on Generation Next.
Thank you, and I'm grateful to be on this platform.
Yes, I am more grateful to actually have you. Of course, I'm sure if you've listened keenly from the beginning, I mentioned that the one-on-one exclusive is a platform created in which we motivate the young minds, of course, the young people of not only in the Gambia, but also anywhere young persons are. The platform is created to motivate them. So actually, we do this by bringing in young minds, young people who, despite the problems, the drills, the challenges they face in life, they are still forging ahead. So we've looked at your background and we've seen what you've achieved so far. And I must say, I'm really, really proud of you. But that we don't just limit ourselves into what you become as a person, but we try to understand how the journey begins. we try to understand how you started. So if you can take us through, it will be important to also know how everything began from your childhood. Who were you? What can you tell us about your childhood?
All right. I'll first of all thank you and your team for the great job that you are doing. This is really, really important for the youths. So I'm grateful to be hosted. Anyway, I will just start by saying I am Mutar Sawaneh, born in Bansang. And then, anyway, I attended Jordan Primary School in Upper Flood West, where in those days we used to travel like kilometers, 4 to 5 kilometers to go to school. So we struggled hard, to complete our basic school in Jordan. It was not easy anyway. We have to wake up early in the morning, travel before 8 o'clock. You need to wake up very, very early and then rush to school before you get late. And then after school, the farms are waiting for you. You have to go to the farm. You understand? It was really, really hectic. I said now, when I tell some people that I was a separate before, they don't believe me. They just think I'm just joking. And this is really something that I did in my childhood. You go to the farms, you understand, you come back home late, you'll be tired, but you have to force yourself, you read your books. The next morning you have to rush, you know that you have to go travel like 4 to 5 kilometers to the school and then attend classes, but that's like determination, you understand, sacrifice, hard working, acceptance, and openness made us achieve it. We were able to conquer it, and then we were able to meet it to Ade Senior Secondary School, the only modern school in the Gambia. That's where I did my senior secondary school, 2005 to 2008. I did my senior secondary school there. We all know Amitage is a school that is I can say a school of its kind. It's one of its kinds in the Gambia here. It's never easy in Amitage, but it is. I would just say, as I normally say, it is the best school. I always level it as the best school. Yes. If like you go to Amitage and then you focus and you know your goals, you know what takes you there, you will really achieve and you will enjoy the end of it. It's always hard at the beginning when you are a green leaf, as they call us, we are in grade 10. You just, I can say, you work like a slave there in those days. You'll be assigned by your seniors, you'll be even lying down, wake up, come on, wash my uniform for me, come cook pap for me. If few of my Amitage students are online, they'll understand what I mean. But we accepted everything. We knew that it's something that we have to go through, that is going to motivate us, that is going to make us strong. And then in the long run, in the future, it's going to help us, which we did. And then we were lucky that we graduated there. And then we got enrolled in GTTI also, that's Gambia Technical Institute, where I started my profession, where I did my tech certificate in electrical and electronics engineering. I was 31, I can still remember my badge number. So it was great. We came to GTTI also with the help of God and then dedication, as I always say, hard working, believing in ourselves. You understand? We were struggling there. It was not easy, but we had to. And then luckily enough for me, when I was doing GTTI, I have my senior brother who did the same course. He guided me a lot through, and then he had friends that the job. So what happened there also was like when I was in GTDI, when I closed from work, let's say from school by 3 or 4, I'll just come home, take my lunch, just maybe a few hours relax. Then I was assigned to one guy, Asan Jiva. By then I used to go to his house in Bonn to do practicals at his home. When we have outside jobs like building wiring and other stuff, electrical jobs, I go with him on weekends. So it's like I was timeless when I was doing my course. After school, my practice that helped me. So from there, luckily, when I finished my tech certificate, which I did in GTTI, and then by then we have the City and Guilds of London Institute. Normally, what happened there is like we do the international examination. They send in their papers from the City and Guilds of London to GTI. We do the examination, and then we were lucky, and then we studied hard. We were able to grab distinctions from them. So During after my first year in GTI, then I went for my attachment in MRC. That's where I did my first attachment in MRC. We were to do there 2 months attachment, but due to our dedication, our hard work, and then our acceptance and openness, our attachment was extended for another 3 months in MRC. Yeah, because we had a little experience, because we are not depending only on the school practical, because we all know that Gambia technical schools, when you depend on the school practically, I can say that you may be affected, because we don't have enough materials in the schools that students can have practicals. Right. So normally you don't have to relax, you don't have to rely on the school only. You have to go out and search for jobs, you have to go out, not for money, but for your own experience. By then I don't earn anything. I go and do all those things. I don't earn anything. Sometimes I walk, buy food, and go to where I have my practicals. You understand? So at MRC, when we are the attachment also, we are not paid salary, I can say. It's just a stipend that they gave us every end of month, which was equal for nothing. But the knowledge, what we gained there was the important thing. The exposure. You work on different equipment, different telecommunication, technical appliances. So that was the advantage, and then we really took advantage of it, because we don't, we capitalize on the little opportunities that we have. That's me. That's how I work. Right. Any little opportunity that I have, I capitalize. I don't give a second chance. I always capitalize to make sure that I make the best use of it. So immediately my attachment was ended at MRC. Then I came to join Africell in 2011. That's I can say the biggest GSM operator in the Gambia. Yeah, and then I spent a lot of time there, and then it was great. It was great. The journey in Africell was something else. It was really, really, really something else. So I started in 2011. In Africell, normally they have we have technical team. There is a group. We have the electrician section is there. We have the mechanic. We have telecommunications from the riggers that goes up the antennas, and different sections there in the technical department. So I was part of the power team. But normally we do work as a team, like not only power. Power, whenever you have work, you have connection with the how to call it, the other technicians. So in Africell, normally we have postings in upcountry, which is a great experience there. We have postings like they have teams in Farafene, Jarasoma, and then Pasif. So it was that's where the interesting part was. When we go, then just after coming, like I spent only 2-3 months in Africell, I was told that you'll be going to posting for at Farafene. I was really, because I've never been there, and I was just 3 months in the field. How big the company was, you understand? The critical jobs that we do there. So what just with the determination that I came with, the hard work, just for 3 months, they trusted in me, and then I was sent to a country with a team of mechanic, rigger, and then a driver. And alhamdulillah, we went for the first month. It was successful. Everything went well. You understand? We did our job nice as expected. You understand? We overcome all the challenges we do there. And then let me just tell you something about the posting in upcountry there. So if you are there, you work 24/7. There is no off day, or there is no weekend. You have to be on standby. Anytime you have emergency, either late in the night, 2 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock, you guys have to move. No matter how far the place is, as far as under control, you have to go. But as I just mentioned before, in Armitage, when you pass through Armitage, I didn't say when Armitage pass through, but when you pass through Armitage, you get used to all those kind of things. Those are just things that they just have to be a reputation, because you've done it. In Armitage, you wake up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to do something. You understand? So in Armitage, it's a school that that you are trained with limited time that you have to idle. You understand? I can just give you a brief of life in Armitage when we were there. When we were in Amity, like let's say by 5 a.m., they will have to, the most committees will have to strike the gong. You have to wake up to, to prepare for Fajr prayers. When you are in the mosque, you have to 30 minutes before prayer time, you have to be in the mosque. 30 minutes before prayer. They have a mosque committee. If you are late, like say, in that 30 minutes before prayers, you'll have to be punished. You'll have to be punished for that. You understand? And then when you are in the mosque, immediately the imam say assalamu alaikum. You have the kitchen committees, they also stroke their gong. You have to rush to put your gown and then take your brooms. You know, you have this broom. We have like we have duties. We call it duties there. You have to perform your duties. We divide it into in a timetable. When you are set in a room, that you have to clean that room that day. If you are in a veranda, if you are in the garden area, you have to do it before 8 o'clock. Before going to school, you have to do that. And then you have to go and take your breakfast. Even breakfast, you don't have to be late. If you are late to go and collect your breakfast, you'll be punished. So everything is with time. So when you are teaching that way, so you understand, that's why I'm so used to that. So when you go for your breakfast, before you ready putting on your uniform, they're still going for class. When you are late there also is another issue. After break also, after when we close at work, let's say by 2 o'clock, the moment they just struck the gong, we have a gong there. It's a big room that we have in the center of the school. If you visited there before, you may see it. When they struck the gong, school closed, you have to rush before the mosque committees will have to strike their gong again for prayers, again, 2 o'clock. 2:15. If you are late for that also, you'll be punished. Immediately after prayers, the kitchen committees also will have to strike their gong for lunch in the dining hall. If you are late, you may be punished that you will not even eat or whatsoever. So immediately after lunch, again, they will say meetings. When you start meetings, they start meetings, and before you realize it, it's 5 o'clock. They strike the gong again for mosque. You go and pray. Immediately after mosque, the sport committee also will come and strike. They be gone for sport. Everybody have to go to the field. If 5 o'clock, nobody will be in the campus. There will be no liability unless if your condition is not acceptable to sport or whatever. But you have to be. If you are not in the field, you go to the gardens. You have a school garden by then. If you are not athlete, then you have to be a gardener. You have to go to the garden. So we are trained in that system. We get used to it. So that's why when we came in tertiary level, we have to manage with it because we are almost used to it. So in job also, that is still motivation. That is still in us. In work, that's it. When I was in Africa, people know. Some people will tell me, you don't relax. You understand? When they tell me that you're going to be posting 4 months, you'll be away. You will leave your family. You have to go to the country. Stay there for 4 good months. Boys down here, I'm telling, why you are a boost boy? You get the boost. You live in here. Sometimes, especially in the summertime or December, New Year's, I spend almost 2, 3, 4. I don't spend New Year's in Cambodia. I do it all in upfront. You understand? I leave my family. I go because I know that it's something that I signed for, and I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for myself, so I don't have to work. You understand? So we say work before party. So we have to work. You understand? And then when I was in Africa in 2015, the management came up with something that like they offer scholarship for students, for anybody that want to study something that is related to your work in town. You will be offered a scholarship if you are interested. As I just told you, I capitalize on any little opportunity that I have. Yes, I was lucky to get the scholarship, and then I went to Chairman Technical Training Institute, where I did my diploma in electrical power. I specialize in power in Chairman Technical Training Institution. And I equally did the city and jails again, one that I did in GTTI. So in 2016, I finished it. 2017 also, I took the chance again and did the advanced diploma also with Chairman. So in that year, after graduating, after finishing the course in Chairman, I personally knew that there was improvement. There's improvement in me, and then I was awarded in Africa the most improved staff with a reward of $25,000 and a certificate in Africa.
Congrats. Congrats. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So as I just normally say, everything you do, you just have to be determined. You have to be open. You understand? You have to be open and know that this I can do it. There is nothing that you can do without trial. Understand? You just don't have to relax and say, yeah, well, this thing I cannot do it. You have to try and see. If you try, others are there. The best thing that I enjoy about myself is that I don't feel like proud. Whenever I know that I'm doing something and then I'm stuck, I'll pick my phone, I'll start calling people that I think that they have experience in it. I'll call them, boy, I'm doing this, but I'm stuck. I don't know if you have experience in it. Understand? And I'll get it. And I'll do it. And that one, it will be noted. It's something that you know that I'll not be asking for it again. And then I'm totally people that knows me. That's why at the time I was leaving officer, many people, some people where I can say, well, I'm open. Whatever I know, you ask me, I'll tell you. Because I know that telling you what I know will not bring me down. You just have to increase. You just have to increase my value. You understand? So I always tell people what I know. I don't. Sorry, just have to reject this call.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, that's it. So. Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, I'm sorry for intruding at this point. I think your story is really, really touching, and any young person who is watching thus far should definitely learn from you as a person. But of course, the sometimes because of our mindset and how we perceive things, because you've mentioned dedication keep you going, you've mentioned focus keep you going, but also you've mentioned because of where you passed, the school that you went to, the school was there, groomed you to whom you have become now. But then what I may want to understand, because you mentioned while you were going to school, you were also a shepherd, right? So who took you to Amitate to begin with? Because doing shepherding at the same time going to school, I know it wasn't really, really easy. But then, of course, you were there as a shepherd as well. But then, is it that your parents took you to Amitage, or was it you who perhaps from your peers understand or heard about Amitage and went there, or was it your parents specifically that took you to Amitage school?
No, me personally, because I knew people who attended Amitage. I since then I lost. It was in my plan that I will have to join Amitage, and then I was lucky to have this format that led me in the school. Because I was that was the intention that I had since when I was in junior school. That I want to join that school because it is the only boarding school, and I saw people that passed through it. Understand?
Yeah.
So that was the motivation. I personally choose the school. There was option that you have to choose different schools that you want to join, but I choose. I mean, during before my examination, I choose the school.
So what made you in particular? What was it there from a young age? What was it that made you choose Amitage?
Yeah, because I knew that Amitage is a school that you will stay without seeing your parents. You will not see any relatives. You're gonna meet new faces. You understand? You're gonna meet different people from different backgrounds, from different areas. That was it. That's why I wanted to join and have that experience. Meet different people from different backgrounds, different languages. You understand? That even made you to be able to speak many local languages. Because
really?
I have classmates, I have friends here that that they're from different areas. You understand? On the whole part of the country, we have students that were in Amitate. That motivated me. And I wanted to be away from parents. I wanted to live a life that, that I'll be away, I will come and you understand?
Yeah.
So that was part of the motivation.
So how was the feeling like? Because you've mentioned that in Amitage, I understand that a real coaching was actually there, because you mentioned having to learn discipline, because getting up early in the morning is not something that anybody could do, of course, especially a young person,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
how was the feeling like having to get up? Of course, it's something that you choose for yourself, and I can imagine when you choose something, then it's like it becomes part of you. You knew what you would definitely. Of course, you knew your expectation, but yet still you were there. So I'm sure it may have been different from someone that has no expectation, knows nothing of what the rules are. So how was it for you, getting up early in the morning, having to obey, retaining that discipline, getting up early in the morning, making sure you're there to for your Fajr prayer? following the rules. How was it for you? Were there any moment when perhaps you felt discouraged at any point, or you have your friends from far and wide? Because we understand that there are always, when we have good things, there may also be bad things as well. Have you had bad friends in any ways, or friends that wanted to influence you in how focused you were?
Yeah. Anyway, it was in the beginning. It was hard in the beginning. It was hard, but just like I say, something that that you have to do. I have that mentality that this is something that I have to get used to. You understand?
Yeah.
So I have to force myself to get used to it because it's something that lives here, and I'm gonna leave it here when going. You understand? It's something that I meet here, so I have to adopt this system. So that's how it is. It was difficult because I can still remember we have friends that that when you wake up, someone will give you a Christian name.
Yeah.
I am David or whatsoever. Just not to wake up that morning. It happened. My badmate can attest to that. So it was really difficult, but it definitely helped because I'm still living in that system. Still now I have to wake up. I still live in that system. It helps me a lot. Waking up early, even if I sleep at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., I'm still used to that. I have to get up early and then I continue doing my jobs. Understand? So that system is still in me. When and as we speak now, still now when I close my official works, sometimes if I get home, it's late. I'm always busy on other activities. Being it Saturday or Sunday, I'm hardly at home. So I'm really, really used to that. I'm grateful for that.
MashaAllah. That's actually a very touching one, and I'm really happy. Of course, when I hear you speak, I can see the excitement in what you've embraced currently. But I maybe second to ask because of course sometimes I'm sure you could have been discouraged with the system because you talk to many young people and they tell you I am disappointed at our government, or I am disappointed at the system and at how the country is going. So were you challenged in that regard in any way?
Okay, me, I'm that type that always tell people that we should not, as a nation, we want to give all we should not depend on the government. We should be self-confident. We should always believe in ourselves that we can do it without the government. We should help the government because there are something that they do. If you release that for the government, you understand? Because you already do it. So the plan that they have for that, they can move it on with something else. You understand? So that's why challenges, I don't expect much from people. You understand? I accept when I am given opportunity or whatever I'm helped, I accept it. But I don't always depend on people. You understand? That's my way of life. I don't depend too much on people. And then that's why when I have challenges, I speak out. When I have challenges, I speak out, definitely. There are some times that we have challenges, we speak out. But it's like I don't depend 100% that the government have to do this for us, or we can't make it without the government. What I believe as youth is that we all have to help each other. We come as one. You understand? When I help one, and then that guy achieves something, he help another one, that guy also achieves something. That's how we develop a nation. You understand? Not just being selfish, being on my part, or just being lazy, sitting saying that the government is not doing this for me, so I can't move on. You understand? There are a lot of things that people can do in this country here and become successful. And I see few people that they are trying, they are doing a lot in the country and it's working and they're helping others.
Exactly.
Understand?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, you are an example to that. From my side, I would definitely cite you as an example. Of course, I think it's generally not bad to throw away or throw some concerns as to some of the things that you see that you think are not in line with what you expected. But that should not actually, like you put it, that should not make you lazy. At least you have to try and, you know, engage yourself in a skill sort of. You could find yourself doing anything because as I always put across this, like we're all gifted in one way or the other. So I'm sure there's something that you may have or you are gifted with, but until you try, you said there's no harm in trying. It's important that we try, but until you try, you may not necessarily know. It's important that you have a completely different mindset. Now, I would shift to ask, while you were in Hermitage, is it that you are more involved into technical electrical work, or what boost that system? What made you go into electrical?
Yes, when I was in Armitage, I was in the technical. I did
Okay.
technical.
Okay.
Yes, I was in the technical department in Armitage since 10 to 10, grade 10 to 12. But there, basically, we were not in electrical. The technical class that we have there, it was more of TD, metalwork, woodwork, and other stuff. But that was not electrical. You understand? But then when I came to GTTI, I showed that like we have the electrical. Yes, sir. And then I know that people, the country is developing, technology is developing. You understand? So the electrical area is something that expands. I can say daily with the new technology. We are seeing everything every day. We see new electrical appliances. You understand?
Yeah.
In this world of technology, every day things are improving. That was the motivation I have. That I want to be a technician. I want to be an engineer that working on telecommunication. That which I achieved. You understand? And then I want to be working on equipment that that people will look at them and say, "Whoa, what is this? How was it?" And it happened. I go to in Gambia when I go when there are problems. Things I visited many people that are not foreigners. When people meet me working there, the first thing they will ask me, "Are you a Gambian?" The people that when they see me working, I face that person a lot of times. People ask me, yes, we don't believe in Gambia. That's the problem that we have. Believe in ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. Understand?
Yeah.
So I'm telling everybody, let us know the potential that can do it. Yeah. Just believe in ourselves. Many people are here when they're given the chance. Trust me, they can do it.
Obviously.
But we don't trust in ourselves. All what we believe in is that boys selling your equipment, they will do whatsoever. Understand? And they will order people to fix it for them. And when they have problem, they will call you for troubleshooting. When you fix it, it will be better than it was before. I have experience in that many occasions.
Right. Of course. I'm sure we'll definitely get to that part because it's important that you mentioned that part. Oftentimes, especially now that we are having more Gambian like yourself getting involved in engineering, I think that is a plus. And I always say collaboration is critical, and we have to respect that. But that brings me to another question because you were fortunate, you were able to choose Armitage, and because Hermitage was more of technical and you were able to be guided to know where your passion lies and what you were actually happy doing. But then now for some schools that are not lucky in that regard, of course, because we know our educational system is challenged, perhaps technically we are not conversant when it comes to using more of our hands and so on and so forth. And we see the way the world is going. I think being more skillful would definitely help in developing this country, this small, beautiful country called the Gambia. So, what would you then advise some of the stakeholders that are involved in changing the educational system? What advice would you have? Perhaps if you were not, maybe if you were not involved so technically, it may have been challenged. You never know. But then, luckily, you are, of course, you were technically involved. So, what message would you then have?
All right. In that aspect, I would say that like they have to things I can say junior school level. They have to specialize. They have to create technical schools that they're purely technical. You understand? Purely technical. Something that you start learning from junior school. You understand? High school, tertiary level, you must be an expert in it in after graduation. But you don't have to because many people will graduate from high school. When they finish, they'll not know what to do. They'll start asking you, me, I want to be electrical. Somebody that has been studying for 12 years, he don't even know what is a wire.
Exactly.
What is even how to change a bulb? And that guy said that he wants to study electrical. When he's already mature, he has problems in his head. He's thinking of so many other things. You understand? When that guy was guided since junior school, high school, tertiary level, he will definitely know. That's the only thing that we should do. They should focus on that. Then we will have the experts that we expect. You understand? Because you cannot be in junior school, you are studying SES, you are studying agriculture, home science, or whatsoever, that's what you're studying. And then you come now, you want to be a skill guy. So it should have been in you since you were young, something that you started at your early age, you grow with it. That's why you will have the best of it. But you can't be like, since junior school, you'll be doing agriculture, you'll be studying mountain, Kilimanjaro, and all other stuff. And all of a sudden, you come, you say that you want to be an engineer. Or it will be difficult.
Yeah.
That disturbs us. Even us, it disturbs us because we find it difficult. We find it difficult when we start it. You understand? So they should focus on that. They should build purely technical schools. From the junior level, you start doing technical, you start practicalizing the things, not only theory, but they should focus on practicals. Now we have a lot of things in the markets. All these electrical appliances or whatsoever, we have them in the market here. We have inverters, we have contactors, we have breakers, whatsoever it is required, we have it in the market. Let them sacrifice, create a lab. You understand? That will be there. Theoretically, they can be learning, but every weekend, Friday and Saturday, whatsoever, they can be scheduled. That will be purely practical. Yeah, that is very important. Then you get used to it. You have the theoretical and the practical aspect. Because there are many technical schools in the country here now, but they are all, let's say, tertiary level school. But you don't have practical. Just go there, they will only teach you theory and give you assignment. They'll tell you after graduation, they'll tell you go for attachment. Sometimes it will be very hard, very difficult to have attachment.
Exactly.
You understand? And most of the places that you go and have attachment, you think that you are learning, you are just doing basic. Until you get into the system, you will know that I was not doing anything in electrical. You understand? It is deep. It is definitely deep. And then here, most of the practicals that we have in school is just electrical installation. That's how it's wiring. You understand? And that is common. Even people that did not go to school are doing it. So they should focus. Let them bring industrial materials and teach people. Let them teach the young people about them. Let them teach them about industrial equipments. Let them teach them calculations. Very important. You understand? So we should definitely focus on that. You will see somebody will graduate from even university. You will ask them some little things they cannot tell you.
That's true.
Which is sad. Practically, we are definitely lagging behind. We are definitely lagging behind. So they should embark on that. Definitely, my word for them is let them start introducing that since junior level. Let them start introducing this technical concept. Let the youths learn skill. It's very important. Not only electrical. You have carpentry, you have welding, and many other things that is good for the country itself. There are some jobs we give foreigners. We have youths that are so they can go to school. There are some projects that the government will have. They can go to a particular school that they know that they are good students that that they are practically minded. They can use. It's going to be experience for them also. It's going to be a balanced thing. It's going to be good for the government and it's going to be good for the students themselves because they're going to learn. The exposure is there. And the government also will spend less because there is a school that they are sponsoring.
Exactly.
So they should try and work on that.
Thank you so much for that piece of advice. I'm sure any of the stakeholders who are watching would definitely adhere to your advice. Of course, you're speaking from experience, which is beautiful that we have people who are experienced to narrate their stories. And of course, now I have to smile because I'm getting to a part that that actually makes me happy. Why it makes me happy is because I always say that we don't just go to school to find jobs. We learn whatever we learn to create them, right? I believe when you go to school you should be bold enough to create your own job, like to create something that you have to do and not have to depend for someone to employ you. And I'm happy particularly that you look at it in that light. And of course you are the founder of MS Electronic Solutions, so maybe you can take us through as to what MS Electrical is all about. Yeah.
All right. I'll be happy to talk about that anyway. So, okay. This is it. Sometime last year, I sat, I was alone. I was thinking. I was saying, okay, like I'm saying 11 years almost, I'm working for a company. You understand? 11 good years, I'm doing the same job, working for a company. So what would happen? What would happen if I just have to lose my job now? Do I have to start scratch? going around looking for jobs somewhere else. You understand? And I have the skill in me. I'm delivering. I personally know that I'm delivering, and everybody recognizes in the company. Why not I do something aside? In case these fail, plan B will be there for me. And doing that also is going to help me, not me alone, but people that are going to be engaged in it. And then I started it. I started bit by bit, putting on my status, putting on my Facebook, and then few jobs started coming, and then Alhamdulillah, it came to be something that that now I can say Alhamdulillah, because I have almost 4 to 5 people that I work with. When I'm engaged on something, they are doing something else there. Not that I'm paying them. I will not say that I'm paying them salary or whatsoever that I'll brag of. But Alhamdulillah, they also gain something, and they are gaining experience also. The exposure, they are learning, and at the end of the day, they get something in their pockets also. So that's the motivation that I have, that I don't have to depend on working for somebody. I want to go in a time that I will not work for anybody. You understand? I will work as a person, and I work with Gambians, because I know that we can definitely do it. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it for somebody. You understand? Why not I do it for myself and employ people that are young Gambians, employ them. Not only to employ them and keep them there, but train them. They can also do as I do. In the long run, they also can do it. We have 2 of my kind, 3, 4. How many youths are off the street now? We have a lot of youths that are engaged. So that is the motivation behind it. That's why I started at MS Electrical and Electronic Solutions.
Wow. That is so how would I say, that's so extending of you. I think every young person should think how you think. And I'm happy when you said that you share, like when anyone asks you, you're willing to give out information. I think this is a problem that most of us do face. To share information is a problem, but I think information is meant to be shared, and skills are meant to be shared as well. It's important that you are an example to that. I am really happy to hear you say that. But then what are you looking at now? What is your motive? Like, for instance, perhaps we can get to that question later. But then now, if any young person is watching now and probably wants to maybe come join your company and learn skills, what would be required of that person? Or do you have the capacity to begin with?
No,
Because
yeah.
I know you're starting. I'm sure it's not that big, is it?
As I just mentioned, I'm open. People will call me from different. Please, if you have job, invite me. I want to learn. I tell them all the time, yeah, you're welcome. Anytime I have job, you're welcome. Sometimes what happens is that I'm busy on other official job. I have works outside. All I do is just to coordinate. All I just have to do is telephone coordination. I just call them, do this, do this, do that. Because I believe when I do that in my absence, they are learning. Whatever I tell them to do on the phone, they will do it, and it will be noted. There will be a time that they will do it for themselves. Because like if it is weekend, if it is a major job, I have to be there with them. I start and show them this is the right way that we should do. This is what and what is required. This is what we should do. I leave them to coordinate, tell them this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do, and they do it. The next minute they will not ask me. They do for themselves. Even without me, they will leave. Understand? I don't hide like information or when it comes to technical job. I give up because I was not born with it. I was taught. Understand? People share with me. So I definitely have to share with others also. They share with others. That's how we have to help each other. So, and then as you just say, everybody, me, I'm open. If I have work, all I just need to say to clarify is that I'm not yet a company that is employing or whatsoever. Understand? But I have people that know that when I have a job, I contact them, and they are constant on standby. Anytime I need them, they are always available. And if anybody is ready for that, also no problem. And after any job, it depends on the type of job that it is. You understand? Yeah, you just have to go home with something. You understand? I will not say that I don't pay, but you just have to go home with something. You know?
Of
Yeah,
course,
just for the motivation.
of course. Like I said, it's about just starting, and that's just exactly what you've done. So perhaps you may also tell us what is it that you may need, of course, in fostering what you've started. I think it's really a great initiative. Perhaps anybody who is watching and may help out in one way or the other. And also, if you can leave your contact just in case if anyone has any job of such magnitude, they may be able to contact you as well.
All right. All we need is like we need support from the people, either cash or kind. We need support. Let them believe. The most thing that I need right now is that let them believe in us, that we can do it. We are Gambians. Let them try and see what we can do. You understand? Let them just believe in us because we know that we can do. There is no ethical job beyond our control as of now, because we are a team of young Gambians that have experience. We know the job and then we know what we're doing. So let people believe in us. Let them give us the chance. Let them give us the opportunity. Let us prove to them that we can do it. Understand? That's the support that we need from people now to support us to grow. As we speak, I have a shop also in Bundum Bantaba, where we sell electrical stuffs, solar panels and all stuff. So normally we buy from our shop, we go and install. So we need the support. We need the support. Let people come out and support us. So for sure, we want to be a big company that we'll talk about.
Okay, maybe you can also share your contact or email address, possibly where you could be reached if anybody wants to help.
Yes. Yes, we are located at Bundum Bandawa. The email address is mutar2010@yahoo.com. MUTAR 2010@yahoo.com. And the telephone number is 785-2903. 785-2903. 7800-005. And we have 648-7986. Another official 77-44433. So we are also on Facebook. We are on TikTok and electronic solutions. So they can also visit our Facebook page and see the job that we do. We always put our updates there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Before I let you go, let me just say one or two things again. Of course, this is to address the Gambian people, but of course, by extension. Of course, sometimes when we sit and we're like, yes, the young people are the future leaders. And many a times people would always say that if we help the young people, if we inflict in the right skills, the right mindset, then the Gambia would move away or the Gambia would pass where it is now. I think it's important if we have young persons who believes in themselves, young person who have understood that and has gone to learn skills. It's important to come and help because, like I always say, together the world becomes a better place. So if you can help wherever you may be, please reach out. Don't underrate anything. I always talk about that. And if we have people like Mutar with the right mindset, but also them alone may be challenged in doing it. So if you are anywhere and you feel the need to help, support, make them grow, please come out. And I'm sure whatever you give out will not be a waste. So thank you so much, Mutar, for sharing that. In that light, perhaps you may have few encouragement to give to other young people, like I mentioned from the beginning, other young people who perhaps are finding fault in whatever that happens in this country and are refusing to do anything meaningful. What message would you have for them? And how best do you think we can get them involved as well?
Okay. All I would have to say is that let every youth believe in his or herself. If you believe in yourself and not being so self-dependent, you are not dependent, you believe in yourself, you know that you can do it. Trust me, if you don't try, you can never make it. You have to try. You have to get up and try. No, nothing will come and meet you on your bed. Success will never come and meet you in your home. Right? You have to get up and try. Let us not just sit down and say that there is no job. There is no job. Understand? Or the government is not doing this or that. The government cannot do anything. Everything falls. The government cannot do everything. So we need to believe in ourselves. Let's come out. There are skills. Still now, the problem we have is that Gambians, most of us, what we want is like putting on ties, you understand, talking and go to offices. Let's believe in ourselves. What a rahasu, ask your colleague, what a rahasu is the best. You understand? Work, you have skill. Every day you go home with a little money. Every day. You don't have to depend on all the salary every month. Every day you put on your suit and tie, go to the office, sit down. The only thing you wait for is end of month. No, believe in yourself. You have to say, no, I have to do something that every day, even if it is $100 or $50, I have to go on with it. And the only thing that can give you that is skills. When you have skills, every day you have to work. People are here. The country is developing. People are building. Not only electrical, carpenters are needed. Welding are needed. You understand? So there are a lot of skilled jobs in the country here that you know that if you are prepared, you can have job. So let's believe in ourselves. Let's come out. You understand? Let's do it for ourselves. That's the best thing I believe that we can take the country for, by believing in ourselves and not depending on the government that there is no employment. I graduated, I don't have employment whatsoever. Just believe in yourself. I'm happy that now I see many people doing it. There are many young groups. They are fixing satellites. Some are fixing solars outside there. You know, the awareness is coming. So let us just believe in and we keep pushing. For sure, we'll all make it. Let's just believe in ourselves. Yes.
Thank you so much. Of course, we've all heard it. Let's all believe in ourselves and do not underrate anything. There are various space needed in the technical world. And even if you're complaining, but please do something. We don't mind you complaining.
Exactly.
We all complain. Mutar complains. I complain.
Exactly.
You know.
Yes.
But that should not actually delay. That should not make you lazy. You know, at least try find something else that you can do. At least do something to support yourself, because even if you complain, I'm sure the person you're complaining of would not doesn't even know you exist. So let's try.
Yeah, and we should, one of the other things we should get used to like multitask. We just invest in ourselves in multitask handling. Multitask. You cannot say that I'm doing this job, I cannot do another. Let's engage ourselves. If you go to Europe, people do that. They're working in different companies. You close here, you go to the other companies. So why not here? We can do it.
Exactly.
Because official work here is only 8 hours. After 8 hours, you have 2-3 hours before going home. You engage yourself into something else. We have weekend, Saturday, Sunday. You can engage yourself into something else. While you still have your fixed 8 hours job that you are employed. You understand? Let us not only depend on employment. Let's be self-employed. So that is something that we need to develop also as Gambians.
Yeah,
yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And one thing I love from your story is, like, I didn't hear you talk about that you have to travel to actually make it here in Gambia. You have to travel to actually come up with your own business. You have to travel to actually be at GTTI or work at Afisol or work at MRC. So actually everything it's here, naturally made here in the Gambia. You believe in
Of
the
course.
yes. So that's really good. That's what I love about your story. And I'm sure any young person who is watching, please learn from Mutar's story. He made everything here in Gambia. It's all in the mindset. It's all about the determination, the focus. He knows from that early age what he wanted. Although while he was going to school, he was doing shepherd. He was a shepherd as well. He mentioned that. I guess we're all shepherds. If you're not a shepherd, then you are lost. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that, Mukhtar. It was a pleasure to actually have you here at Generation Next, or on Generation Next. English with it on and on. Thank you. And
Thank you
must
guys.
welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Must welcome. You must welcome. And thank you to my beautiful audience for always sticking out and here listening to me talk a lot, because I do sometimes do a whole lot of brouhaha. Mohammed, thank you so much for making sure that we're always here to broadcast to our beautiful audience, and the motivation continues and the movement continues. Thank you, and until I come your way again, it's the bye from the entire Generation Next team, and a big kiss. Thank you. All right. Do I end it from here?
dama tul si fatel tul si put mi la woo yow yaay man nañ wax lu mata mooy amuloo fi space man da nga ñàkk a pexe rek waaye tuddee du doos des man su la waxee ne dafa seer laaj ko ban façon seer mu wax la cross border laaj ko ban frontière waxal ñii ne dofuñ real tough waa ngi soog a teer den bëdi yi bëri leen boole leen benn peel maa ngi si kaw higher than whatsoever altitude mu ne na ma yàlla jéegal ñi munuñ ma prostitute su dee ne loof nga jógal wane sa attitude seen benn bu kay dese la ñëw execute suma yaram dafa tàng bàyyi leen ma jóg ko benn bum mu naan laska fekk dang ko joxut bum bii bang dafa ñanga dàgg yaag si wind bum mu naan mu naan mu naan mu naan mu naan they been talking shit ñi wax bi bari na way ba tey defu shit boy jëndal sa yaay kër boo pare bi talk the shit dama down to art way ba tey ma top the shit ma sos di nga daw ba dog plus ba xañ la foos ma nos takku ba cek ba pare nekk sa boss ma teg Lincoln bi nees léegi ma teg si poche 100% jox la sa bonus soo pare nga loos ene néeg la ma xeex bi bari na yakal ma ñaan mana la borom ma ci fanaan yakal ma ñaan bum la mama xeex bi bari na yakal ma ñaan bom bi seen kër lay fanaan suma yaram dafa tàng bàyyi leen ma jóg ko benn bum mu naan laska fekk dang ko joxut bum bii bang dafa ñanga tàgg yaag si wind bum mu naan